Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, I will be ranking the Ninjago premieres from worst to best. This is my own opinion, so feel free to leave your list down below. With this being said, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so season premieres usually do a few things. They set up the main story and idea for the season, we hear or get introduced to the main villain, and we see how the ninja are doing after their last battle. Okay, so coming in at number 12, we have Wasted True Potential. Now this episode did a pretty horrible job of setting up the plot for the season. This episode instead consisted of quite a few bad jokes, the ninja sitting in a hot tub, and a fight with some random electric chicken. This was also a huge difference to the last season, with the very mature tone it had. So yeah, this description speaks for itself. Overall, this premiere just did a horrific job of doing what it was meant to do, and I just really disliked it in general. Infamous takes the 11th spot on this list, of course being the Season 6 premiere. This episode introduced us to Nadakhan, a fantastic villain overall. The scene with him and Klaus was just really entertaining and really well done too. But what I didn't like is how the ninja suddenly become some sort of famous film stars. Dareth also somehow became their manager for everything they did, which I found really stupid and it got very annoying. There was also the extremely annoying thing with Nia being the girl ninja, which popped up too many times for my liking. Overall, just a pretty bad season premiere. Next up we have the Season 2 premiere, Darkness Shall Rise. So this episode didn't have much to do with the story at all, but I did enjoy it a decent amount nonetheless. I suppose the episode feels really slow in some scenes, and some scenes do feel slightly boring too. The good things that came out of this episode were things such as the creation of the Black Bounty and the creation of the mega weapon that would later be used for some filler episodes. So overall, a pretty mediocre start to what would later become an amazing season. The Darkness Comes is just coming in at number 9. So this episode was pretty mediocre in my opinion, and did seem extremely slow and boring in quite a few scenes. Nonetheless, I did enjoy the Garmadon scenes, and I especially enjoyed seeing the inhabitants of Ninjago City getting turned into stone. This was a very creepy scene, and the soundtrack helped out a lot with that. Looking back on it, I enjoyed this premiere a decent amount, but there's definitely better episodes on this list. Next on the list we have Firstborn. Now this episode was a great introduction to what has been happening in Ninjago City ever since Garmadon took over. Seeing the form of a small resistance team was great too. The design for Ninjago City just looked phenomenal in this episode too, and just had a very creepy vibe to it. This episode did a good job of setting things in the first round too, with the dragon hunters finding and capturing the ninja one by one. There were some bad things about the episode though. First off, I didn't really like how the elemental masters basically showed up out of nowhere to rescue the ninja. I thought it seemed a little convenient, but I enjoyed seeing their return nonetheless. The scenes in the first round also seemed to drag on a little bit too, which I wasn't much of a fan of. The Mask of Deception will be next on this list. So first off, this episode had an incredible opening scene, and was definitely the best first scene from a season. So much action, and the Lloyd vs Mr. E bike chase was awesome too. The episode did a good job of introducing the ninja back to us in their new movie designs, and really made us question Mr. E's true identity. There was one major problem with the episode for me though, and that is the fact that the royal family showed up out of nowhere. The only explanation for this was that they are a very private family, which I thought was pretty stupid. Overall, this episode did a great job of introducing us to Harumi, a character that would then become one of the most fan favourite characters from the entire series. Coming in at number 6 is Rise of the Snakes, which was the premiere of Season 1. I really do enjoy this episode, and I thought it did a great job of showing what had happened to the ninja since the pilots, and really showing off their characters individually. Lloyd Garmadon got his premiere in this episode, and it really showed how much of a brat he was. Seeing the Hypnobrai tribe for the first time was pretty awesome, though, and this season did a phenomenal job of setting up a phenomenal season. Next we have The Hands of Time. So this episode jumped straight into the action and started off with a huge fight between Wu, and what we would later find out to be a Chronix. This basically lasted the majority of the episode, and I just thought it was amazing to see. We then got introduced to the first Time Blade, the collectible item of the season. The ninja moving into the Temple of Ejitsu was good, but did seem a little boring at certain points. Overall, a phenomenal introduction to a pretty good season. Alright then, so next up on the list we have the latest season premiere, and that is, Would You Like to Enter Prime Empire? In my opinion, this is an 11-minute episode gone completely right. It did a great job of setting the story up in just 11 minutes, and I really appreciated that. I also appreciate seeing how this was a huge step up from the season 11 we got before. It was cool seeing the mechanic back, and the short fight scenes we got were pretty enjoyable as well. The Invitation is next up on my list. This episode did a phenomenal job of giving each ninja more development since the last season, and seeing how Zane's demise really affected the team. Seeing the ninja all unite once more was awesome too. The concept of having other elemental masters was just incredible, and I enjoy every single one. Of course, we got introduced to Klaus, and his interactions with Sensei Garmadon were just superb. The Surge is another fantastic episode in my opinion. This episode introduces us to new Ninjago City, a new time for the city as Cyrus Borg has revamped the whole place with his new technology. The Overlord returning as a digital virus was just a great idea for the show, and I really enjoyed how he was basically blackmailing Borg into whatever he needed doing. I do have one complaint, and that is why all the ninja are teachers. This all seemed quite out of character for all of the ninja, and I wasn't the biggest fan on it. The only plus side to it was seeing Kai's leaked video of him singing in the shower, which was just hilarious. Of course, at the number 1 spot we have Winds of Change. This episode started off with a very creepy vibe, with the malfunctioning Lloyd machine in the museum. I can't explain how much I enjoyed seeing Lloyd get possessed in this episode, and I thought it was just really well executed. Of course, the best part of the episode for me was the ninja fighting possessed Lloyd. There were some great jokes included, and the soundtrack really added to it. It really showed how much of an intimidating villain Morrow is, and I just enjoyed everything about the episode really. So this was my ranking of all the season premieres so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and drop a comment down below. I truly appreciate all the support we can get. With this being said, I will see you all in my next video coming very soon.